and welcome. This video is going to be a what sold video, and it's going to be everything that sold for me December 8th to December 14th. I'm trying to catch you all up because Thriftmas kind of absorbed my life in December and is still kind of absorbing my life now here in January. But I am going to get all 24 stores done, and a lot of the things that I have sold that I'm going to share with you now are from my Thriftmas videos. So I'm going to scoot over here. We're going to start with my lowest performing platform first, and that is going to be Etsy. And a great reason why I should cross post more is that I picked up this hat at an estate sale with a bunch of other hats. I think I paid like $2 for it, and of all places for this hat to sell, it sold on Etsy for my full asking price of $15. I did also have this cross posted to eBay and Poshmark before I even bothered to cross post this to Etsy, and Etsy is where it sold. So this is a great return. Again, Etsy is one of my favorite platforms. It's just set it and forget it. And this is very Y2K fashion. The early aughts is like big to get distressed hats or to wear distressed hats. I'm really happy that this sold. And then we're gonna go over to eBay, which is my main bay. And I sold this new with tags Travis Matthew golf polo. It is a size medium. I mentioned before on the channel that it doesn't matter what size it is, I will pick it up pretty much for men's because it all sells. I know a lot of resellers prefer to pick up the larger sizes, but you know, I've made lots of money off of smalls and mediums and men's especially. So this sold on an offer for $40.38, and the buyer paid for shipping. So this was a great sale because I picked up this early in Thriftmas and I paid like less than $5 for this shirt. Now this is something I have to thank Leah for. Leah, super supportive in December, and I really hope that this has kept you warm this cold winter season. This is one of the vintage Pashminas. She paid my full asking price of $19.87, and this is one of the items you guys saw me pick up during Thriftmas. Absolutely beautiful scarf. Pashmina, again, if you're unfamiliar, is a type of cashmere. So whenever you see something that says 100% Pashmina, it's not just a brand, it's also a type of cashmere. So again, Leah, thank you very much, and I'm hoping you're loving the scarf. Another thank you to a viewer, Brett, who I've talked about on this channel multiple times and who I've gone thrifting with. He got a Tesla in December, and when I posted one of my Thriftmas videos saying that I found 2 Tesla t-shirts in his size, he jumped on that and bought both of them immediately. So Brett, thank you very much for buying both of these t-shirts from me. I hope you are enjoying them and your new Tesla, and that you are driving safely because there have been some things in the news lately. So, but I'm really excited for you. I know it's like a big deal to get a Tesla. It used to be like considered the YouTuber car. It was like everybody was getting a Tesla there. I think in what, 2017, 2018 was like everybody, like you've made it when you got a Tesla when you were a YouTuber. You don't care about that. Brett, thank you for buying these, and I'm hoping you're loving both the shirts and the car. Another thing I picked up Thriftmas, I know about figs from Hustle at Home Mom and also Matt over at Thrift Life, and I found it for the first time during Thriftmas, and these sold immediately. I accepted an offer of $22 for a pair of the figs technical jogger pants. I can definitely tell you these are soft and comfy, and I really hope that this person is saving some lives and being comfortable at the same time because these were awesome. I was so tempted to keep a pair for myself because they were just, it's like Lululemon, but for scrubs. That is a very accurate description of them. So the next sale I have Heather to thank for. She saw me wear this in a haul for one of the Thriftmas videos and left a lovely message to me saying like, it looks so good on you, hopefully it looks half as good on me. I'm sure it looks even better on you, Heather. And this is an M for Missoni for Target cardigan. The colors were awesome. Missoni is known for its chevron patterns, and Heather, I hope you're enjoying it. It definitely was a very cute and very cozy duster sweater there. So thank you, Heather. This Loot Crate thing is something that I got from a Crate Personal. This is me selling off my own personal stuff because I made mistakes during Thriftmas, and this is something I pulled from my own collection of mugs that I have way too many of. And it it sold almost immediately for $5.50 and the buyer paid for shipping. It was just a regular 12-ounce mug, but this one changed colors when you put hot liquids into it to show the bat signal. It was a very cool mug, but I have too many mugs, so I let that one move on to a new home. This is a Scully Cap. It is a vintage piece. I picked this up for, I believe, like $2 at the Restore. I will pick up wool blend Scully Caps anytime I see them, regardless of the brand, because they sell. It is a look. Peaky Blinders has made it a look, for sure. So they normally move very quickly because you all told me to put Scully Cap in the title, and that works every single time. So, and I've mentioned how much I love selling books. This is a vintage cookbook I picked up at an estate sale for $1. This is from 1965. Now, if you had one with the dust jacket on it, that would make it worth about twice as much, but because it doesn't have its dust jacket on it, I sold for $3.90. I was just sent off 20% off watchers, and someone snapped it up for $3.90. So hopefully they're cooking some really cool stuff. All right, this is something that was in one of my Thriftmas videos, and as soon as I posted that video, I believe Melissa snapped this up immediately, and it's a set of bunny pictures, and they weren't like photograph pictures, but these were rabbit prints from Kay Lamb Shannon, and when she saw them, she's like, rabbits mean a lot to me, so she immediately bought them for $21.87. So Melissa, I hope you love them. I hope you are enjoying them in your home. And I'm glad that something I picked up was able to get a second home with one of y'all. It means a lot that you guys are like so supportive. Like, and so many of you are so supportive in giving these pieces a second home, which otherwise would have ended up in a landfill. I think that's awesome. I really do. This is the Pelican Brief by John Grisham. I personally don't read a whole lot of the action thriller genre, but I do know the authors, and I will pick up first editions because they will sell, especially at the bins. So I paid 50 cents for this. I made, 5 times my money off of this sale because it sold for $3.50. Perfectly happy with that return on investment. Again, books are super fast for me to list, so I'm willing to do the little bit of work for this kind of return. And also books kind of don't go out of style, in my personal opinion, so that's also why I like reselling them. I also don't want them to go in the landfill. This is something I picked up for $1 at the Restore. This sold, I think, to a viewer, but I'm not 100% sure, because I think this is one of the instances where Christina sent me a message somewhere other than on eBay. So Christina, if you're watching and you bought this copy of Roots from me, I hope you are enjoying reading it. It is a very important read, and it's a really cool book, and I found a first edition of it, and I thought that was great. It has a lot of cultural significance, especially for Black community in America. So this is a first edition Roots from 1976. This Lucky brand Plaid Flannel, I believe this is one of the things that Carolyn gifted when Ernie and Carolyn went through their closets, and so because I believe this is from Carolyn, this was 100% free to me, and it sold for $15, and the buyer paid for shipping. Again, another thing that I was like, I could wear it until it sold, but I didn't get to. That normally happens. It also was a little bit too small in the shoulders, but because it had the split back, it still worked, which is great. Which is why I really like some of the split back stuff, because I can still wear it even with my big old shoulders. So Carolyn, Ernie, thank you very much for, again, the lovely gift. It has been awesome. It has been awesome. This is a vintage Satsuma Japan trinket dish. It has this beautiful peacock on the top, and it's just like a dish that opens. It was around 5 inches around. I've had this thing for forever, and somebody finally bought it. It'd been listed for over 2 years, and someone bought it for my full asking price, $11.87. I have realized that pretty much everything will sell eventually. So I've just hoped that this would find the right buyer, and it did, because it was a gorgeous piece, and hopefully the new owner loves it. This is one of the t-shirts. I got a big bunch of like country t-shirts and concert t-shirts from one estate sale where I paid like roughly $1 or $2 depending on whatever the estate sale person at the time felt like it was worth, because I went on the last day and they're like $1, $2, $1, $2. So I picked this up for $2. It's a Josh Groban t-shirt and from 2004, so not quite vintage yet. Which is why I sold it for $9.87, and it had been relisted a couple of times. So I also put this on Whatnot and nobody wanted it, but eventually did sell for my full asking price, and I'm happy that it went off to a new home and I made a decent profit from it. I also found at an estate sale 3 of these 1984 vintage mugs. I listed them as like a one listing with a quantity of 3 instead of like buy 3 mugs. I don't know why sometimes I decide to do that. Sometimes I decide to just sell things individually, and sometimes I decide to do it as a lot. For this particular item, I decided instead of doing 3 of these Hardy mugs to just sell individually, and they have sold individually, all of them, which all to different people, which is wild to me. So this one sold for my full asking price of $6.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. These were like the little small mugs, so they were only 8-ounce mugs, so they could ship under a pound, which was awesome. This is that random Green Bay Packers / Patriots t-shirt. I had so many people comment about this shirt when I showed it, and it sold like as I was rendering the video. So I don't know. I don't think that somebody that watches my channel purchased this, which I'm sorry, because I know a couple of you sent me messages about it. But I'm guessing I maybe underpriced this because somebody immediately snapped it up. So I hope whoever it is enjoys the irony of it, and it was a great piece. I literally just picked it up because I was like, this is funny because this is wrong. Not thinking, I don't know, I just didn't think anybody else would find the irony in it or like want to buy it, but I was apparently wrong and glad about that. I thought I was gonna hold on to it for a while, but based on y'all's reaction and the fact this is purchased before the video dropped, yeah, this was a cool piece. This is something I picked up at an estate sale for less than $1. This is Franny Flag's a Whistle Stop Cafe cookbook, and it sold for my full asking price of $14.87. You're like, how did that cookbook sell for so much? It's like, because it was brand new. It was still in its original plastic wrap. I guess somebody got it as a gift and never opened it, which I find quite often at estate sales. So I thought that was great. I love selling vintage cookbooks. I really, really do. They're just such consistent and easy sellers. This is a pair of Levi's 527s, another style of Levi's I know to pick up from Matt's Manifesto. This is like the medium sell-through rate, and that's pretty consistent with my understanding of it. Like 517s and 527s seem to have like a medium to low sell-through rate. And these sold on an offer for $15.90, and the buyer paid $10.60 for shipping. So I picked these up at a thrift store with the cost averaging made them around $5, which is why I picked them up. So I've mentioned before on this channel that cottagecore is very in. I've also mentioned that corduroy is very in, so this was like a perfect storm of both. This is a Vermont Country Store women's needle cord dress. It had long sleeves, it was collared, it had a full button front, which is very 90s reminiscence. And this has needle cord, which is a very fine corduroy, about the thickness of a needle. And it was a full length dress. So when I saw this, it clicked off so many boxes for me, and I immediately picked it up for $6, and it sold for almost $60. It sold for $59.87, and the buyer paid padded flat rate for shipping. It's a beautiful dress, and I'm really glad someone picked this up. Those button front dresses, don't sleep on them. They're pretty good sellers for me. Another one of those Hardy's mugs, again, completely different buyer, bought one mug. Again, the 1984 Hardy's mug. I picked them at a estate sale. I paid $1 a piece for each of them, so a $3 investment. Because all of them have sold, I made like, you know, $18 off of all of them, which I think is a pretty good return on some mugs. So sold another one. And then this is something I picked up at a thrift store. This is Weatherman. It's a vintage piece. So this has like a sweatshirt. It also was like heavily pilled like right here. But I did some sweater shaving, fixed that right up. Weatherman is a vintage brand. I can't remember if it was from Sears or Kmart. One of those two, but it was like an older version of that. I paid like less than $5 for this, and it sold for $20, and the buyer paid flat rate for shipping. This Sears and Roebuck, this Sears and Roebuck oh my god, I said it again, Roebuck. Sears and Roebuck magazine reissue from the 70s. I had so many of y'all commenting, asking about this, because it was immediately gone as soon as I listed it. It sold for my full asking price of $5.87. I will say that if I get this again, I will probably not resell it. I will probably keep this. But this was one of the only books I could rescue from that Village Thrift in Hampton. And it sold almost immediately. So if you see this 1970 reprint of the 1900 or the 1909, I would pick them up, especially if you're getting them for like $1 or less. This was a great sale. It's a great item, so cool. And that was like the last thing to share with you guys. Hi, it's Editor Bob. I haven't seen y'all in a while. That was in fact not the last item I had to share with you. I also sold this 1980s Tanner Sport vest thing. These vintage knit vests are really popular on Instagram, really popular with Gen Z. They don't wear them as a vest, they wear them as a regular top. Moxie is here to let you know she is alive and well. But I sold this for my full asking price of $19.87, and like I paid $4 for this at a thrift store. So I pick these up whenever I see them. I don't see them very often because, like I said, Gen Z is thrifting for themselves and they are out and about. I have seen them multiple times, especially for Thriftmas. So I rarely see them, but when I do, I snap them up because I do know someone is going to buy them. But yeah, I will give you back to Bob and she will wrap up the video with you. But yeah, so thank you guys so much who have purchased for me. It does really mean a lot and has helped make my December merry and bright for 2022. You guys definitely helped me end on a strong note. I still have 2 more weeks in December to share with you guys of sales, and then I can do my wrap up for the month. So look forward to those videos, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye! Bye.